My child, I need you to pause, be still, and listen closely because what I'm about to say must settle not just in your ears, but in your spirit. Something has already shifted over your life. Something has already been released. This is not a future promise waiting to be activated. This is a divine reality that has already been set in motion by my hand. What I have spoken concerning you, what I have assigned to your name, what I have positioned for your next step, it has been released. And I declare this to you with power and peace. Nothing can stop what I just released. You've been walking through a season that felt prolonged, almost like time itself was stretching in slow motion. You've asked me quietly, sometimes tearfully, God, did I miss it? Did I delay it? Did I imagine it? You've wondered if you misheard, if your hopes were too high. If maybe this was all just a test that led to nowhere. But I say to you now, you have not missed anything. What looked like stillness was me aligning the atmosphere. What felt like stagnation was me guarding what I was growing inside you. You haven't been passed over. You've been preserved, not forgotten, but fortified. And now I have released what you didn't even know I was preparing. You see, I move in seasons, not seconds. And while you measured progress by what you could see, I was measuring obedience by what you gave me in the unseen. I watched your yes when it felt costly. I recorded your prayers when no one else saw the pain they carried. I saw you return to the secret place when discouragement tried to pull you away. I heard the silence between your words, the places where you couldn't even form the sentences. But your heart still reached for me. That kind of faith does not go unnoticed in my kingdom. And that kind of trust triggers movement in heaven. There was a moment, unseen to you, but real in the spirit, where your posture before me unlocked something eternal, where your quiet surrender gave me full permission to release what had been stored. Not delayed, not denied, but divinely timed. And I tell you this now so you stop bracing for disappointment. So you stop analyzing your process through the lens of what's missing. Nothing is missing. The release has happened. What was held back has been released forward. What you've been praying for is no longer in process. It's on its way. I'm shifting your entire paradigm. I'm teaching you how to walk like someone who has already received, not someone still begging to be seen. Because too often my children stay in the posture of desperation even after I've delivered the answer. You've been so trained to believe the wait is endless that you don't recognize when the breakthrough arrives. But this time, I am awakening your spirit. So you do not miss the moment. You will sense it. You will feel it. You will recognize the shift not by external change first, but by internal authority. There will be a stillness in you that cannot be shaken. There will be a peace that doesn't make sense. There will be a fire behind your words, a clarity in your steps, and a new ease in what once felt heavy. And yes, there will be resistance. But resistance does not cancel release. The presence of warfare is not the absence of breakthrough. It is often the proof that you've stepped into something sacred. The enemy cannot reverse what I've released. But he will try to distract, delay, and discourage you from walking in it. That is why you must stay near. Stay anchored. Stay aware. Don't shrink when the pressure rises. Lift your eyes and remember this has already been released. You're not fighting for it. You're stewarding it. There is a difference. You are not the same. And this is not just another encouragement to keep going. This is a commissioning, a spiritual awakening, a line being drawn. From this moment forward, your spirit will not be able to return to passive waiting. Something is rising in you that says, I know what I've heard. I know what he's done. I know this is the moment. And it is. This is the moment. The internal shift has happened. The spiritual gate has opened. The oil has started to flow, and what comes next will not be forced. It will be followed. So I need you to walk differently. Not with arrogance, but with authority. Not with fear, but with fire. Not questioning what you carry, but moving in it. You don't have to keep checking if it's real. It is. You don't have to keep waiting for the next sign. This is the sign. I've released it. It's happening. And nothing, not resistance, not delay, not doubt, nothing can stop what I just released. Let these words echo in your spirit. Let them break off the last layers of waiting mentality. Let them ignite the expectation you laid down. Let them resurrect the boldness you shelved. Let them awaken the authority you forgot you had. Because the heavens have shifted. My word has gone forth. And now the only question left is, will you walk in what I've already released? You will, because I'm with you, because I've gone before you. Because what I've started in you I will finish. And no power in hell, no voice of fear, no human agenda can reverse what I, the Lord your God, have already set in motion. My beloved, now that I've revealed to you that something has already been released, I want to draw your heart even closer and speak into something more personal. Because before I move you forward in power, I want to restore the way you see yourself in my presence. You've carried too many conflicting messages, the voice of culture, the voice of fear, the voice of comparison, and even the echo of your own self-doubt. But today, I want to silence all the noise and speak to you directly. Not about what I've released into your life, but what I've always believed about you. You may have convinced yourself that you're not ready, that what I've promised must be for someone more qualified, someone more stable, someone who hasn't made the same mistakes. You've looked at your past and assumed it disqualifies you from what's ahead. But I need you to hear this in the depths of your soul. I never based your calling on your perfection. I based it on my purpose. I chose you before you could even prove anything to me. I saw you when others ignored you. I marked you before the process began. And I have not changed my mind. You've walked through a long season of wondering if what you carry is enough. You've looked at others and assumed they're better equipped, more connected, more naturally gifted. But I didn't call them to carry your mantle. I called you. You've been uniquely formed for what I've assigned to your name. You've been processed for it, pressed for it, purified for it. You don't need to sound like them, move like them, or become someone else to be used by me. I'm not looking for a copy. I'm breathing on you. There have been moments where you doubted if I even saw you at all. Moments when you were pouring out while feeling completely empty inside. Moments when you were praying for others while quietly wondering who was praying for you. I saw all of it. And I need you to know I never overlooked any of it. Not the small acts of obedience, not the private moments of faith, not the worship you gave when your heart felt numb. I am the God who sees in secret, and I reward not because of performance but because of posture, and your posture even when trembling has pleased me. Let me speak to your soul again. You are not late. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not an afterthought in my kingdom. You are part of a design far bigger than you know. Every day I have allowed you to breathe has been saturated with purpose. I've been training you in quiet places. I've been sharpening your discernment. I've been strengthening your ability to hear me above the noise. That, my child, is not wasted time. That is eternal investment. And now you are being positioned to walk in it not with fear, but with freedom. Stop disqualifying yourself based on what you haven't seen yet. You're looking for evidence in the wrong place. The proof isn't in what you've accomplished. It's in the fire you've endured. It's in the tears that never stopped your praise. It's in the valleys that didn't silence your faith. That's where the real authority comes from. You didn't just survive. You surrendered. And that surrender has prepared you more than any spotlight ever could. Now I'm inviting you to walk with me in a new way. Not as a servant trying to prove something, but as a child who knows they're loved. I'm not asking for a better version of you. I'm asking for the real you. The version of you that still has questions but refuses to let go of my hand. The one who shows up even when they don't feel strong. The one who says yes even when it's whispered through tears. That's the one I can use. That's the one I delight in. That's the one I've never taken my eyes off of. Come to me without trying to impress me. Come to me without the pressure of getting everything right. I want your heart. I want your honesty. I want your time. I want your attention. Not because I'm demanding it, but because I know what it does to you when you give me space. It heals you. It centers you. It reminds you that you are not alone and never have been. You've been fighting battles that were never yours to fight, carrying weights that were never yours to hold. But here in my presence, you can let it all go. This is not a command. It's a calling, a gentle call back to your first love. A reminder that I still want you. Not the polished version, not the fixed version. Just you. Come sit again. Let me wash over you with truth. Let me breathe over the ashes. Let me remind you of what I've spoken and who I spoke it to. You, my chosen one, my beloved, my vessel, my friend. The release has happened. The shift is real. But the first fruit I want to see is this. You with me again, fully, deeply, and without fear. Because when that happens, everything else begins to fall into place. My child, now that you have drawn near and opened your heart again, I want to speak to something that has quietly shaped how you see me, how you see yourself, and how you have walked through this life, the pain you've carried. You may not talk about it often. You may have learned to live around it, to function with it, to even smile over it. But I know it's there. And I want you to hear this clearly, not just as comfort, but as revelation. I saw it all. Every wound, every loss, every silence, every betrayal, every moment when you asked why God and felt like heaven gave you no answer. None of it escaped my attention. None of it was missed in the vastness of eternity. I was there for all of it. Not passively watching, but weeping with you, holding you, covering you. Even when it didn't feel like I was near, I was closer than you knew. The pain you've endured wasn't meaningless. I never waste what hurts you. I never let brokenness pass through your life without forming something holy from it. You've asked, what was the point of it all? What was all that waiting for? Why did it hurt for so long? And now I say to you, the pain was a door not to destruction, but to depth. The delay was not denial. It was design. I wasn't punishing you. I was preparing you. I wasn't silent to push you away. I was drawing you inward where voices fall silent, and only my whisper remains. You thought I wasn't speaking, but I was speaking in a deeper language. The language of surrender, the language of trust without explanation. The language of faith that chooses me even when it doesn't understand me. Some of your deepest wounds came from places that were supposed to be safe. I know that. I know what people said. I know how they mishandled your vulnerability. I know how you've built walls not because you're cold, but because you were tired of bleeding in front of those who didn't care to see. And I want you to know this. I have never handled you that way. I've always seen your heart rightly. I've always known the weight you carried. And I am ashamed of your pain. I don't need you to hide it to be holy. I need you to bring it to me, raw and real and uncovered. That is where I heal. That is where I restore. That is where I rebuild. You've walked through losses no one fully understood. You've carried burdens that others dismissed. You've endured storms that didn't let up when you cried for them to stop. And I know how tired you became. I know how much you wanted me to intervene sooner. I know how hard it was to keep believing that something beautiful could still come from what looked like ruin. But I also want you to know this. You never stopped choosing me. Even when you were weary, even when you were angry, even when you wanted to give up, you still turned to me. And that, my child, is worship. That is faith. That is what moved me. That is what triggered the release you are now stepping into. I didn't shield you from every pain, but I kept the pain from breaking you. I didn't rush the process, but I walked every step of it with you. And now you are not who you were when the pain began. You are stronger. You are deeper. You are wiser. You are more compassionate. You don't carry authority because you read about it. You carry it because you lived through what tried to destroy you. And now that same pain is becoming your oil. That sorrow is becoming your power. That crushing is becoming your clarity. You are not just healed. You are now a healer. You are not just restored. You are a restorer. You are not just surviving. You are awakening. Let me say this plainly. I did not cause every pain, but I have claimed all of it. And now I'm redeeming it. I'm using it to mark your voice with weight, to mark your presence with power, to mark your story with glory. You will speak from a place of deep knowing, and others will be drawn not to your strength, but to my faithfulness shining through your journey. You don't need to explain every scar. Just carry them as evidence, because your scars are not signs of weakness. They are signs that the story didn't end where the pain began. And I'm not finished. What I'm doing now is not just healing. It's unveiling. I'm showing you who you really are. Not the you who had to survive. Not the you who learned to hide. But the version I always saw, whole, bold, tender, true, filled with my spirit. Unapologetically called, deeply loved, fully free. So bring me your grief again. Not to relive it, but so I can redeem it. Let me hold your questions, not to silence them, but so I can fill them with my presence. Let me remind you, the pain didn't win. The silence didn't define you. The enemy didn't get the last word. I did. And I say now, you are rising. You are remembered. You are being rebuilt from glory to glory. And nothing, not even your deepest pain, can stop what I just released. My beloved, with your heart open, your spirit healed, and your soul realigned, I want to reveal what's coming into view. Not in the distant future, but now. Because I have not only remembered you, I have moved. I have acted. And I have released something into your life that cannot be stopped. What you have long believed, long prayed for, long hoped for in silence, it is beginning to take form. My promises are not floating in a someday. They're being planted in you now. And I want you to see the signs. Not just so you celebrate them, but so you can partner with them. I want you to recognize my movement not only in miracles but in the momentum that begins small and grows steady. You've asked me, Lord, will I know when it happens? Will I see it? Will it feel different? And I say yes, but it will not come with noise. It will come with knowing. You will begin to feel a shift. Not always loud, but undeniable. A sense that things are not as stuck as they were. That the ground that felt dry is softening. That the prayers that felt heavy are now flowing more freely. That the weight you carried for years is lifting. These are not coincidences. These are confirmations. These are the early signs of a fulfilled word breaking into time. I want you to notice the patterns. Repeated scriptures, recurring dreams, words from strangers that echo what you only told me in the secret place. These are not strange occurrences. These are me speaking with consistency so that you will not mistake my voice. I confirm in layers. I repeat myself with intention. I stir your attention through what seems small. That conversation that stayed with you, that phrase that keeps coming back. That impression that won't let go. I am guiding you not with confusion but with alignment. And you will begin to feel release in your hands. Projects that were blocked will start to move. Ideas that felt dormant will come back with clarity. Connections will resurface, not for nostalgia, but for divine timing. The doors that stayed shut in one season will begin to swing open in this one. Not because you forced them, but because I spoke to them. When I release a word, everything under heaven begins to align with it. You don't need to chase favor. Favor is chasing you. What I have spoken over you is already echoing in rooms your feet haven't yet entered. I'm also sending signs through peace. Yes, peace. Because you're stepping into a season where peace becomes your signal, not your reward. When I move, I do so in clarity. If something stirs anxiety, pause. If something carries peace, even if it doesn't yet make logical sense, pay attention. My presence goes before my promise. And peace is often the first indication that you're walking in step with me. I am not pushing you with pressure. I am drawing you with presence. And that shift alone is a sign that you're not operating in the old way anymore. You'll also notice time moving differently. What took years will now happen in months. What seemed like slow motion will now quicken. I am not accelerating to overwhelm you. I'm moving because you're ready, ready to carry, ready to see, ready to walk with me. Not from desperation, but from agreement. Your heart is finally trusting what your spirit always knew. I am faithful and I am not late. There will be divine appointments. People you didn't expect will begin to reach out. Doors you stopped knocking on will now open on their own. The things you laid down will be handed back, but not in the same form. They will come back redeemed. What you thought was lost forever will reappear, not for nostalgia, but for assignment. I will not bring back what hurt you. I will bring back what heals you. And the way it re-enters will be your confirmation that I'm the one restoring it. Let me be clear. What I'm doing is not just personal. It's generational. Your obedience is breaking cycles. Your surrender is unlocking territory. The promise I'm fulfilling through you is not just for your comfort. It's for the people you will touch, the voices you will raise, the atmospheres you will shift. I'm not only giving you fulfillment, I'm giving you legacy. And the signs I send are not just to assure you. They are to activate you. So watch closely. Don't dismiss what seems small. Don't ignore what your spirit keeps circling back to. Ask me to show you what's from me. I will. Ask me to confirm. I will ask me to open your eyes and I will give you new sight. Sight to see what's already begun. Sight to notice the movement that others overlook. Sight to celebrate what hasn't fully formed but is already real in the spirit. This is how I work. I release the promise. I plant the signs. I water them with my word. And I confirm them with peace. And you, my child, are now standing in the early rain of everything I've promised. Don't fear what you don't yet see in full. Rejoice in what you're starting to feel in faith. Because this is the season of signs, and they are already all around you. Now, my child, with signs beginning to surround you and movement already set in motion, I want to show you how to walk in this. Because what I released is not just for a moment. It is for momentum. And if you don't know how to carry it, you will keep questioning what I've already confirmed. This is not about returning to a cycle of waiting for something that has already been set in place. This is about learning how to live as someone who's already received. Faith is not only the key that unlocked the door. It is also the posture that sustains what you find on the other side. So I will show you how to apply what you believe, not just feel it. I will teach you how to protect the promises that are emerging, not just pray for more. Begin with your thoughts. What you think in this season matters more than you realize. If your mind remains trained in survival, you will treat divine release like a risk rather than a gift. You will question open doors. You will expect disappointment where I'm bringing breakthrough. That's why I'm inviting you to renew your mind daily. Not through effort, but through truth. My word is not simply a comfort. It is your compass. It is how you learn to think in alignment with me. Every time you begin to drift into fear, anxiety, or doubt, return to what I've said. Let Scripture shape your outlook. Let worship reset your focus. Let my voice be the first and loudest sound in your thoughts. Pay attention to your words. You cannot speak death and expect life to grow. You cannot speak lack and expect abundance to manifest. What you declare in this season is prophetic. You are building the atmosphere you will live in. So speak faith, speak life, declare alignment. Bless your next steps with your mouth. Say out loud, I am not waiting to be seen. I am walking as remembered. I am not hoping to be chosen. I am already released. And watch how the atmosphere around you starts to respond. The words you release will activate doors. The declarations you choose will silence doubt. Guard your time with me. You don't need more hours in the day. You need more awareness of my presence in your day. Let me be in the center again, not just fit into the margins. Start with me. End with me. Check in with me between decisions. Ask me before you move. Even in the smallest things. This is how you become led, not just inspired. You don't need to guess what comes next. You need to listen. And I am speaking not just through signs, but through stillness. The clarity you need isn't found in doing more. It's found in resting deeper. Make space for stillness. You've learned how to function in noise. Now I want to teach you how to thrive in quiet. It's in the stillness that you'll sense my direction. It's in the silence that you'll feel my whispers becoming loud. Don't run from the spaces where you feel nothing happening. Sit with me there. Stay. Let your soul unlearn the urgency that taught you movement meant progress. Some of my greatest revelations come not when you're running, but when you're sitting. Be ready to obey quickly. When I speak, move. You don't need all the details before you take the next step. Faith doesn't need guarantees. It needs agreement. When I prompt you to reach out, do it. When I highlight someone to bless, respond. When I place an idea in your heart, write it down and start moving. Obedience creates alignment. Alignment produces momentum. Don't wait until you feel brave. Move when you know it's me. And courage will meet you in motion. Keep your heart soft. Growth brings exposure. Blessing brings responsibility. Favor attracts attention. But nothing matters more than staying tender in my presence. Keep coming to me as a child. Keep letting me shape your tone, your posture, your intentions. Don't let success harden you. Don't let praise shift your purity. Stay humble. Stay teachable. Stay aware that all of this flows from grace, not performance. The strength you walk in is not yours to own. It's mine to sustain. And finally, write. Document what I'm doing. Record the confirmations. Save the phrases I give you in prayer. Journal the moments that don't make sense now, but will soon come into view. This is not just for your memory. It's for your legacy. You will return to these pages later and say, this is where it shifted. This is when he confirmed it. This is how I knew it was real. And others will read your words and find their faith rising. Your obedience to write will plant courage in people you've never met. This is how you walk forward now. Not as one waiting to see if it's real, but as one already convinced that it is. I have released something over your life that cannot be undone. And your only job now is to walk like it, think like it, speak like it, respond like it, guard it, carry it, honor it. And as you do, you'll realize this isn't just a promise being fulfilled. This is a life being rebuilt from the inside out. My child, let me speak into something deeper than the promises I've given and the doors I'm opening. Let me remind you of something far more essential than any platform, opportunity, or breakthrough. I want to restore your identity, not just as a servant, not only as someone carrying purpose, but as mine, fully mine, not based on what you do for me, not based on how consistent your faith has been, not even based on how well you've handled the journey, but simply because you belong to me. You've been chosen, called, marked, and remembered, not for what you bring to me, but because of who I created you to be. You've walked through seasons where your worth felt like it was on trial, where circumstances seemed to define your significance, where silence from others made you question your place, where delay made you think I had changed my mind. And slowly, almost without noticing, you began to carry questions that attached themselves to your identity. Am I behind? Am I too much? Am I forgotten? But let me say this plainly. I never asked you to figure yourself out apart from my voice. I never gave others the final word on who you are. I never designed you to determine your value by what's visible. You were made in my image. You were formed with intention. Before anyone else could label you, I already had. And I called you good. I called you set apart. I called you worthy of carrying glory. There has never been a day when I saw you as anything less than a carrier of my presence. You are not fragile. You are not unqualified. You are not late. You are becoming more like what I always knew you to be. And in this moment, I am peeling off every false name you've carried. Every wound that tried to speak identity over you. Every experience that made you shrink to survive. You don't need to prove yourself anymore. I already approved you. You don't need to chase validation. You've been verified by heaven. I have placed something in you that cannot be duplicated. You don't need to perform to keep it. You don't need to blend in to be safe. You don't need to apologize for rising. You've paid the price in the silence. You've endured the fire in the secret place. And what's being revealed now is not just the promise, but you, the healed you, the bold you, the spirit-led you, the true you. You've been misunderstood, but that doesn't change the assignment. You've been overlooked, but that doesn't cancel the oil. You've been stretched, but that doesn't stop the sending. I've seen how you stayed low, how you remained humble, how you chose me when everything in you wanted to walk away. And now I'm lifting your head. Not to make you arrogant, but to remind you of who you are. You're not forgotten. You're not overlooked. You're not invisible. You're remembered. And everything that once spoke otherwise is now being silenced. You'll begin to feel it in the way you speak, in the way you stand, in the way you no longer question the ground beneath you. Because you're not walking as someone asking for permission. You're walking as someone who knows they've been positioned. And your identity will no longer be shaped by fear. It will be built on truth. Truth that says you are enough, even when you feel inadequate. Truth that says you are covered even when you feel exposed. Truth that says you are deeply loved even when you don't feel seen. Let me remind you, child, this identity was never based on others understanding you. It was always rooted in me knowing you. I know the real you. The one behind the layers. The one who dares to dream big but gets quiet when it feels like too much. The one who pours out but doesn't always know how to receive. The one who shows up even when they're not sure they belong. That's the you I see. And that's the you I'm restoring. No more shrinking. No more silence. No more shame. The false armor is coming off. The true identity is rising up. So walk as someone who's been seen. Speak as someone who's been trusted. Love as someone who's been healed. Build as someone who's been commissioned. You are not the result of broken seasons. You are the result of grace that never gave up on you. You carry my image. You reflect my heart. And every room you step into will begin to sense it. Not because of your strength, but because you finally believe what I've always said. You are mine and that will never change. Now, my child, as you begin to walk in the strength of who you truly are, as one remembered, restored, and realigned, I want to give you the rhythms that will sustain what I've started. Because what I've released into your life is not just a breakthrough. It's a beginning. And beginnings must be protected. They must be nurtured with intention. You are no longer walking as someone surviving day by day. You are now building a life on what I've spoken. That means what you cultivate from this point forward will determine the depth of your fruit. You've been faithful with the fight. Now I'm calling you to be faithful with the flow. And that begins in the secret place. Make your time with me your foundation again. Not just a space for urgent prayers, but a place of continual relationship. Come to me before you come to anything else. Let me be your first voice. Not the voice of social noise, not the pressure of deadlines, not the echo of yesterday's doubts. Come when you feel full, but also when you feel nothing. Sit with me, even if you don't know what to say. I'm not looking for performance. I'm looking for presence. I will meet you in the stillness. I will speak in the quiet. And what I whisper in that space will shape everything you carry into the day. Open the word with reverence and hunger. Don't treat it as a box to check. Treat it as breath for your spirit. You're not just reading scripture, you're receiving strategy. I will give you verses that become weapons. I will highlight passages that read you more than you read them. Slow down. Ask me questions. Write down what stirs. Let my word correct, comfort, and commission you. When the world gets loud, my word becomes your anchor. When confusion tries to cloud you, my word becomes your clarity. There is no situation you will face that I have not already prepared wisdom for. And it is in my word waiting to meet you. Create space for worship. Not just in public, but in private. Worship when you feel like it. Worship when you don't. Turn your living room into a sanctuary. Let your voice fill the silence of early mornings. Worship not to get something, but to give something. It realigns your atmosphere. It reminds your soul of what's true. It dethrones anxiety. It silences striving. I dwell in that space, not as a moment, but as a dwelling. And the more you build that altar, the more consistently you will feel me, even in places you once thought I was far. Fast as I lead you. This is not about impressing me. It's about removing the noise. Fasting doesn't make me move. It makes you more aware that I already am. I will prompt you when it's time to pull back from something, even something good. And if you obey, I'll meet you in that space with unusual clarity. Some shifts won't come through more action. They'll come through consecration. And I will honor every sacrifice, no matter how small. I see what you laid down, and I always respond by lifting you up. Guard your atmosphere. Not everything is for you anymore. There are voices you'll need to mute, conversations you'll need to excuse yourself from, environments you'll need to leave. Not because you're better, but because you're becoming clearer. Purity isn't about perfection. It's about protection. You're carrying something holy, and not everything can touch it. Let me lead you into what brings peace. Let me expose what drains you. You don't need to feel guilty for guarding your oil. The assignment ahead of you depends on it. Be intentional with your relationships. I'm sending people who see you, not through insecurity, but through my eyes. I will align you with those who speak the same language of faith, who stir your spirit instead of suffocate it. Don't chase proximity to crowds. Wait for divine connection. I'd rather give you one voice of confirmation than 100 opinions of confusion. I will highlight your tribe, and when I do, invest in them. Pray for them. Walk with them because you were never meant to build alone. Write what I say. Keep a journal. Keep track of the whispers, the verses, the impressions. They are not just passing thoughts. They are blueprints. What you write in private will one day be the map for others walking through their own wilderness. You will return to these pages when the pressure rises. They will remind you of what I said when the world tries to drown it out. And every time you reread what I've spoken, your spirit will stand taller. And finally, walk slowly. Don't let the momentum make you move ahead of me. Don't trade intimacy for productivity. You're not a machine. You're a vessel filled, carried, led. And as long as you stay close, I'll keep guiding. I'll keep speaking. I'll keep covering. This is not about striving. It's about abiding. And if you do these things, not perfectly, but consistently, you will not only walk in what I've released, you'll carry it with integrity, joy, and power. Now, my child, with your heart reawakened, your posture aligned, and your intimacy restored, I speak over you not as a distant hope, but as a divine decree. The change is already happening. What I've spoken has gone forth. What I've commanded is now unfolding. And no force, no resistance, no delay, no fear can stop what I just released. You have entered a divine turning point. Not because of your striving, but because of your surrender. Not because everything is perfect around you, but because your spirit has said yes in the quiet. And now heaven is answering in the open. There will be visible change. You won't have to wonder if you're imagining this season. You won't need to convince yourself to believe. You'll know. You'll feel it in your pace, your prayers, your decisions. Doors that were closed will now begin to open. Not through pressure, but through peace. Conversations will begin to shift. Not because you forced them, but because I prepared them. Connections you thought were gone will suddenly reappear, not as distractions, but as confirmations. What once felt delayed will now accelerate. What once seemed impossible will now unfold naturally. Because this is not just movement. This is me. Some things will change quickly. Some will change quietly. Some will come with full clarity. And others will come one obedient step at a time. Don't worry about the speed. Don't compare the process. Just respond when I lead. You're not walking blind. You're walking by faith. And faith will carry you where certainty never could. I will give you signs. I will confirm my voice. I will speak to your spirit in a way that silences every fear. But you must be willing to trust what doesn't look like what you expected. Because I'm not always restoring things to how they were. I'm restoring them to what they were meant to be. Expect divine interruptions. Expect sudden favor. Expect reverse decisions. Expect phone calls, emails, connections, ideas. Some that you thought had passed you by, others you never saw coming. I am moving in rooms you haven't entered yet. I'm speaking your name to people you don't even know. I'm setting up appointments that will look like coincidence but carry heaven's fingerprint. This is not your effort opening doors. It's your history of faithfulness bringing me glory. You remained faithful in private, and now I'm rewarding you in ways that only I could orchestrate. Do not shrink when it begins. Do not doubt when it feels too big. You've prayed for this. You've prepared for this. You've wept and waited for this. Now it's arriving. And it's not random. It's not too soon. It's not too late. It is exactly on time. You are not unworthy. You are not underqualified. You are not being pushed into something you can't carry. You've been processed. You've been refined. You've been trusted. And now I am confirming you, not through applause, but through alignment. The right people are coming. Not perfect people, but aligned ones. Those who understand the call. Those who know how to cover, build, and walk beside you. You will feel the difference. You'll no longer have to convince people to stay who were never meant to go. I'm removing relational noise so you can hear clearly. I'm bringing those who bring peace, not pressure. Growth, not comparison. Purpose, not distraction. And when they come, you'll know it's me. I'm also increasing your discernment. You will begin to sense what's from me and what's not faster than ever before. You won't need 3 confirmations. You'll just know. And I will train you to trust that knowing. I'm not leaving you to figure this out. I'm walking with you step by step. I will not allow you to miss what I'm doing, but I will require your obedience. When I say go, go. When I say pause, pause. When I say give, give. When I say let go, release. Because your sensitivity will determine your acceleration. I'm not rushing you, but I am requiring your response. This is the hour of fulfillment. What I whispered in secret is becoming reality in the visible. What you journaled in faith will now become the blueprint for what others will witness. You won't need to defend your process. Your fruit will speak. Your peace will lead. Your story will carry a new sound. Not desperation, but demonstration. You are not who you were when this started. You are the version of yourself that heaven has been preparing to release. So get ready, not with anxiety, but with anticipation. Prepare your space. Clear distractions. Get your spirit still, because what's coming will not be forced. It will flow. And everything that felt like delay will now look like divine timing. You will breathe easier. You will move with clarity. You will see what I saw all along. That nothing was wasted and nothing can stop what I just released. Now, my child, as the shift unfolds and the signs of fulfillment begin to take form around you, I want to invite you into something even deeper, an encounter not just with my promises, but with my presence. Because what I just released over your life was not only provision, direction, or opportunity. It was my spirit. I did not call you into motion without also giving you my breath. I did not release doors without first releasing the power you will need to walk through them. And now I'm calling you into fresh communion with the Holy Spirit. Not for a moment, not for a high, but for a lifestyle of transformation. Because what I desire most is not just your movement. It is your inner becoming. You've known the Spirit as a comforter. You've sensed Him in worship. You've cried in His presence. But now I want to take you beyond visitation. I want to move you into habitation. You were never meant to rely on occasional encounters. You were created to carry my presence every day, in every space, in every conversation, in every decision. The Holy Spirit is not a moment of emotion. He is the power source of your life. He is not reserved for church walls. He is active, present, alive in you, waiting to be welcomed, waiting to be followed. There are areas of your heart that my Spirit is gently highlighting, not to condemn you, but to heal you. The fear that still lives behind your confidence. The exhaustion hidden beneath your leadership. The shame that occasionally whispers when no one's around. I want to touch those places. Not because I'm angry, but because I love you too much to let them stay. Transformation does not happen through striving. It happens through surrender. And if you'll open your soul, even the parts you've learned to protect, I will flood you with a peace that doesn't just comfort, but reconstructs. Let the Holy Spirit become your rhythm. Let Him guide your thoughts before your mind races. Let Him calm your body before stress takes over. Let Him filter your words before fear tries to speak for you. Let Him whisper truth when lies try to replay. This is the transformation I'm calling you into. Not just new behavior, but a new nature. Not behavior modified, but a heart yielded. You're not being improved. You're being renewed. And that renewal will be visible, not just in how you speak, but in how you carry me. When you walk into a room, you'll notice the difference. The way peace begins to follow you. The way conversations shift when you enter. The way people sense calm in your tone. That's not charisma. It's communion. That's not energy. It's glory. That's the fruit of presence. That's the mark of transformation. You'll no longer need to explain your authority. It will be felt. You'll no longer need to announce your change. It will be seen. Because when someone has truly encountered me, they don't just act differently. They become different. And this transformation will not be emotional alone. It will be structural. The Spirit will reorder your patterns. He will teach you how to rest from identity, not performance. He will teach you how to pray from wholeness, not panic. He will teach you how to decide from clarity, not fear. And slowly, daily, powerfully, you will start to live as someone fully led, fully loved, fully alive. You will no longer react. You will respond. You will no longer scramble. You will walk. You will no longer hide. You will host. Let this be your new lifestyle. Wake with me. Walk with me. Ask me the small things. Invite me into the parts of your day you used to manage on your own. You don't need to carry anything by yourself anymore. The same Spirit who raised Christ from the dead lives in you. Not as a visitor, but as a resident. And if you'll yield, if you'll remain aware, I will begin to fill every empty place and overflow through every full one. This is how you live forward. Not just from momentum, but from union. Not just in power, but in presence. The Spirit will not just help you do the next thing. He will help you become the person who can carry it without collapsing. And through this transformation, others will encounter me in you. Through your peace, through your patience, through your boldness, through your stillness. So breathe. Yield trust. Welcome me again. Not for a moment, but for always. I've released many things, but what I desire most is you. And when I have your attention, your affection, your surrender, nothing, not even the deepest pain or the highest platform can stop what we will build together. My beloved, now that you have walked with me through this word, line by line, layer by layer, truth by truth, I want to speak this final affirmation over your soul. You are not the same. You are not who you were when this began. Something in you has shifted. Not just your circumstances, not just your understanding. You. There has been a divine unlocking, a supernatural awakening, a quiet but unshakable transformation. You are not returning to waiting. You are not walking in circles anymore. You are moving forward as one who has heard from heaven, been filled by the Spirit, and knows without doubt that nothing can stop what I just released. What I placed inside of you has already begun to breathe. The words I've spoken have already begun to take root. The doors I've opened are already beginning to swing wider. And the you that once doubted if you were enough has been replaced by the you who remembers who I am. You no longer walk to be chosen. You walk as someone already sent. The fire in your heart is not a flash of motivation. It's the spark of divine purpose igniting into sustained momentum. And from this moment forward, you will not shrink again. You will not rehearse delay. You will not cling to old names. You will rise in clarity. You will build from peace. You will move with me. What I've released is protected. What I've revealed is holy. What I've restored is complete. No man can reverse it. No voice can cancel it. No system can control it. I have spoken. And when I speak, everything responds, even you. So walk in it now. Talk from it now. Rest in it now. Build with it now. I am the one who called you. I am the one who shaped you. I am the one who remembers you. And I am the one who will finish what I started. Amen. And now, my child, if this word ignited something in you, don't keep it to yourself. There is someone walking through silence just like you once did. Share this with them. Let it be the sound of heaven in their waiting. If this word became your confirmation, mark it below. Leave one word: released, remembered, awake, unstoppable. Let it be your declaration, your yes, your amen. Return often. Let this message water your soul again and again. What I've released doesn't expire. It only grows stronger in hearts that stay near.